This is a fourth stimulus check, stimulus program, and news update. 178 hospital workers are suspended for not complying with the coronavirus vaccination policy. This is in Houston, Texas at the Methodist Church, and the Methodist Church said that if you are not fully vaccinated by Monday, then you will be suspended for 2 weeks without pay. So by Monday, 24,000 workers were vaccinated and 178 employees did not get vaccinated, and now they are suspended. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Should these 178 people have a choice of whether or not to be vaccinated? Should the workplace force people to get vaccinated, or should it be freedom of choice just like it is throughout the country? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Next, let's talk about the infrastructure talks. So Biden ends the infrastructure talks with the Senate GOP officially yesterday, which was Tuesday, right before he left for Europe for his G7 conference. So I think we all kind of saw this coming. It all came down to how the infrastructure package was going to be paid for, and there was a red line for the Republicans. Here's a video clip explaining more of what happened.
The White House and Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito are ending their negotiations over an infrastructure package. In a statement, Senator Capito said that she is disappointed by the decision and said that it was President Biden who walked away from the talks. She said that despite their progress in determining what spending areas they could perhaps reach an agreement on, the president continued to say that any spending had to be funded by tax increases on businesses or on individuals, which Republicans had said was their red line. Now, I'm told that the White House is framing this as shifting negotiations from Republicans to a bipartisan group of senators. There has been a group of 10 Republicans and 10 Democrats known as the G20, which has been working on a separate proposal, and that the White House does feel that the negotiations were conducted in good faith and that both sides have a better understanding of each other's positions, though ultimately they found that Capito's proposal had come up short. This, of course, puts another roadblock in the hopes for an infrastructure deal sometime this summer, as now the White House and GOP Senator Shelley Moore Capito walk away from those discussions.
Basically, those negotiations between President Biden and Senator Capito was just a big waste of time. Nothing came out of it, although Democrats are not going the reconciliation route yet first. There's two bipartisan solutions or potential solutions here. So she mentioned the G20, which is 10 Democrats, 10 Republicans. There's also another bipartisan caucus to endorse its own proposal after infrastructure talks sizzle. So this is the 58-member group, which consists of 29 Democrats, 29 Republicans. This is the Problem Solvers Caucus. They came out with their own package idea, which is going to be an 8-year package that comes out to $1.249 trillion. It's going to be $500 billion in new spending, and basically the way it breaks down, $587 billion for highways and bridges, $160 billion for transit, $24 billion for electric vehicle infrastructure, as well as a few other details that we don't know yet. We don't know everything about it. I'll keep you updated, but it looks like there's still talks about the bipartisan route. Now, Democrats are getting impatient. They're saying, let's just do this through reconciliation, but Senator Joe Manchin, who has a lot of power in this situation, pushes back against Democrat-only infrastructure bill as bipartisan negotiations crumble. So he was asked yesterday about the idea of reconciliation. Joe Manchin said, "I'm not even close to the thought process on that. We're just trying to find an infrastructure bill we can all agree on." So it looks like the Democrats are not going to do the reconciliation path yet. It looks like there still might be a chance for bipartisan, although not likely. I'll keep you updated on that. Next, let's talk about unemployment. A Jersey Mike's, which is a sandwich shop, is opening in California, is offering a hiring bonus of up to $10,000 as fast food chains struggle to bring back workers. So basically, if you start working at this Jersey Mike's shop, you'll get a $10,000 sign-on bonus. That's how desperate some organizations are to hire new people, basically because they're saying that the unemployment benefits are preventing people from going back to work. Now, states will start cutting off federal unemployment benefits this week. I'm going to show you a map of exactly which states are canceling and when. So June 12th is the earliest that some states are canceling the unemployment benefits. This includes Alaska, Iowa, Mississippi, and Missouri. Starting June 12th, these are all the other dates, the states in blue, and exactly when those dates are going to be. The four I just mentioned are going to happen June 12th, this Saturday, and then over the next few weeks until mid-July or early July is when the other ones are going to cancel as well. So this is going to happen. we're at 25 states, so basically half the country. Lindsey Graham says that his own family members aren't working due to unemployment benefits. What Lindsey Graham said is there's a lot of jobs out there that are unfilled and will never be filled until you change the benefit structure. Does that logic make sense to you? He says, I got a lot of people in my family that ain't working because they're getting, I'll show you some of my family, and then I guess, saying that they're getting unemployment instead. He says, bottom line is I think there are people out there, they're not bad people, but they're people not going to work for $15 an hour and make $23 unemployed. That doesn't make you a bad person. If you're working for $15 an hour, that makes you almost a chump. What do you think about what Lindsey Graham just said with that? So it looks like the Republican stance is still to try to cancel all the unemployment benefits. If you're not in a state where it's not going to be canceled or sooner, it's going to expire September 6th. In terms of other unemployment news, the IRS is sending out $2.8 million refund checks to people who pay their taxes on unemployment benefits this week. So this is the week that hopefully the check should come out. The IRS also made an announcement May 12th, almost a month ago, saying that the checks were going to go out, but I guess now they're finally starting to go out. I've actually gotten some comments of people who did receive these checks. This is if you made unemployment money and you already paid taxes on it, that up to $10,200 was tax-free. So this is the money back. You could get up to $1,000 with that. Speaking of the IRS sending out letters, the IRS sent letters to more than, or is sending out more letters to more than 36 million families who may qualify for monthly child tax credit, and the payments start July 15th. So this is to let families know, hey, you could be eligible to receive the $250 to $300 per month child tax credit. It's going to start July 15th, then August 13th, and the 15th of every month after that. I went over this in yesterday's video, just wanted to remind you of this. If you are expecting, if you get the letter, there's no action to be taken, but they will set up a portal soon to give you, for you to give more information. Also, if you haven't filed a tax return and you want to get this money, you file a tax return right now, give the IRS your information. This way they know where to send the check and who to send it to. Also, let's talk about a fourth stimulus check. The White House now says Biden could be okay with that. What's going on with the fourth stimulus check? Are we getting a fourth stimulus check? When are we getting a fourth stimulus check? A lot of those questions remain unanswered because of the infrastructure package negotiations. That has taken first priority. Once that's done, we'll start to see more stimulus program proposals pop up again. It's been kind of slow lately, especially the increase in Social Security, $15,000 home buyer credit, Medicare expansion. A lot of those things are just put on hold. But in terms of fourth stimulus check, we're working with a couple of plans here. So Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren want President Biden to have $2,000 monthly checks. Then that's in the Senate. Then we have the $2,000 per month until the pandemic is over. Then $1,000 recurring monthly payments. Both these plans are basically stalled. A lot of letters have been written to President Biden, but no action has been taken, mainly because it looks like a bipartisan solution might happen. Probably not. It looks like, if it does, if the infrastructure doesn't work out on a bipartisan solution, then it looks like it's going to be done through reconciliation. Then a lot of these stimulus programs will be added to that big package. If that happens, I'll let you know. Also, in terms of support for the $2,000 per month to every American, it looks like it is at 2,331,000. It hasn't really changed much over the last few days, although there are still more signatures happening with that. Here's a video clip of Bernie Sanders talking more about the stimulus benefits.
Economically, we are also moving forward in the right direction. Millions of jobs have been created in the last few months as the economy reopens all across America. And one of the reasons, in my view, for our success has been the American Rescue Plan that the President signed into law in March. $1,400 direct payment that about 85% of our people received was enormously helpful in easing the anxiety and the pain and the distress that so many people were feeling. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to talk to people who received those checks, but for a family of four, that was just life-saving. The American Rescue Plan, in a major way, has begun to cut childhood poverty because of the $3,600 child tax credit that we are providing to working families all across America. During the pandemic in my state, and I expect in all of your states, there were long lines of people lining up for emergency food. Hard to believe that's taking place in America. It was. We are making progress in reducing hunger in America. We are expanding, as a result of the American Rescue Plan, health care for people who need it. We're improving educational opportunities. We're providing summer and after-school programs for our kids. The American Rescue Plan provided an extra $300 a week in unemployment benefits to millions of workers who lost their jobs through no fault of their own. And the American Rescue Plan also is preventing millions of Americans from being thrown out onto the streets because they could not afford their rent. It is also preventing over 1 million workers and retirees from seeing their pensions slashed by up to 60%. In other words, that is a very significant piece of legislation that came at a time when working families in this country desperately needed help. But let us be clear. While we are making progress in protecting working families, an enormous amount of work remains before us. In the richest country in the history of the world, the working families of this country continue to struggle economically, with millions of our people continuing to live in desperation. Sometimes inside the Beltway, we can forget that reality. But literally speaking, 3 blocks from this building, there are people sleeping in tents out on the street, and the desperation exists from one end of this country to the other in every one of our states. Real wages, inflation accounted for wages in America, are lower today than they were 48 years ago. Think about that. Huge explosion in productivity, in technology, average American worker in real wages making less than he or she did 48 years ago. And frighteningly, and the young people know this, the younger generation stand an excellent chance, if we don't turn it around, of having a lower standard of living than their parents. In other words, we're moving in exactly the wrong direction. Today in America, over half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck, and millions are trying to get by on $8, $9, $10 an hour, which in my view is a starvation wage. In terms of health care, we remain the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people, and yet we pay the highest prices in the world for health care. 90 million people are uninsured. 1 out of 4 people cannot afford the cost of a prescription drug their doctor prescribes, because we pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. Over 500,000 Americans are homeless today, and some 18 million households spend at least half of their incomes in housing. How the hell do you survive when you spend half of your income in housing? Meanwhile, while working families struggle, the very richest people in this country are doing unbelievably well. 2 people own more wealth than the bottom 40% of the American nation. And let me be as clear as I can be. The decisions that we make as a Congress will determine the very future of this nation. I'm not just talking about the movement toward authoritarianism and the attacks on democracy, which we are seeing every day. We are determining whether or not we are going to have an economy that works for all of us or just the very wealthiest people in this country.
Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Joyce Wilson asks, how will we opt out for the child tax credit? So if you want to opt out of the monthly child tax credit, IRS is still supposed to set up this portal so that you could choose whether you want it on a monthly basis or a one-time payment. So I'm assuming you want it as a one-time payment, which you'll have to wait until taxes are done in 2022. Love Marie asks, what about the women who are expecting to have babies soon? So just like a regular child tax credit, you'll have to wait until the baby's born before you could take advantage of any child tax credit. Robert Firamoka asks, can you please explain the $10,200 tax refund? If taxes were not taken out of your unemployment checks, do you not qualify for the refund, and how much is the refund? So basically, back in March, the American Rescue Plan was passed, and it said in that plan that the first $10,200 in unemployment that you collected is tax-free. But the thing is, people already paid their taxes maybe as early as February, so they didn't get that tax break. So basically, the IRS is giving 13 million people who already paid their taxes on this unemployment money, they're giving them the tax tax breaks back, which if that was all the way back in March and stuff, they're definitely taking a really long time on that. But that's where the $10,200 tax refund is. If you got up to $10,200 in unemployment or anything less, then you get a tax break on that. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you one thing that is so funny about me. I'm back! So, get to something else. When you feel really a little bit down, you should call a friend or a family member, because then you could feel more better. Like I have this here. That's all I want to speak to. Bye!
Thank you so much for watching up until this point. I really appreciate your support. If I earned your like, then hit the like button down below and subscribe for more updates like this. I like to get straight to the point. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you have a happy day. If you're not feeling happy at the moment, think of something that does make you happy and count your blessings. Appreciate what you have rather than focusing on what you don't have. Anyways, I love all that positive type of stuff. Anyways, if you want to see more of my videos, click the link up here or click the link down over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.